Shemale. It is said that the scholar Ma Wanbao is from Dongkang and is wild and unrestrained. His wife Tian is also wild and romantic, and the couple has a sincere relationship. One day, a woman came to the village and stayed at the house of a widowed old lady who was a neighbor of Ma Sheng. She said that she could not stand the abuse by her parents-in-law, so she temporarily ran away to escape. The woman's sewing skills were very exquisite, and she often did some needlework for the old lady. The old lady was very happy and kept her for a long time. A few days later, the woman claimed that she could give people massages late at night and specialize in treating women's abdominal diseases. The old lady often visited Ma Sheng's house and once promoted the woman's medical skills to Mr. Tian, but Mr. Tian didn't pay attention. Another day, Ma Sheng spied a woman from a crack in the wall. She was about 18 or 19 years old and very beautiful. He fell in love with her unconsciously. He secretly discussed with his wife and asked her to pretend to be sick to lure the woman here. Tian Shi pretended to be sick. The old lady came over first to greet her and said, "Mrs. Meng greets you, and she will come right away. But she is afraid of seeing men, so please don't let your husband in then." Mr. Tian said, "There are not many houses at home, and he still has to go in and out. Come in, but what should I do?" After pretending to think for a while, he said, "My uncle in the West Village asked him to go drinking at his house in the evening, so he didn't come back. This is also an easy thing." The old lady agreed and left. Mrs. Tian then discussed with Ma Sheng to use the strategy of exchanging one person for another to plot against this woman. After dark, the old lady led the woman over and asked, "Will Mr. Lang be back in the evening?" Tian replied, "Not coming back." The woman said happily, "That's good." After a few words, after the old lady left, Tian lit the candle and folded the quilt. Let the woman go to bed first, and then took off his clothes and turned off the light. Suddenly he said, "I almost forgot, the kitchen door is not closed, so don't let the dog steal the food." He got out of bed, opened the door, and went out, replaced by Ma Sheng. Ma Sheng crept in, got on the bed, and lay down on the same pillow as the woman. The woman trembled and said, "I'm going to treat my wife." She also said some affectionate words, but she remained silent. The woman touched Ma Sheng's belly with her hand and gradually reached the navel. She stopped and suddenly touched the lower part. She screamed. The woman looked surprised and horrified, as if she had caught a poisonous snake or scorpion and turned over. Bed, just want to escape. Ma Sheng grabbed him, put his hand between the woman's legs, and grabbed a handful. It turned out that she was also a man. Ma was horrified and hurriedly shouted to light the lamp. Mrs. Tian thought the woman disagreed and the two had a falling out, so she lit a lamp and came over to mediate between the two. When she entered the door, she saw a man kneeling on the ground begging for his life. He was ashamed and afraid, so he hurriedly ran out. Ma Sheng inquired carefully and found out that he claims to be Wang Erxi from Guqing. Because his brother Wang Daxi was a disciple of Sang Chong, he learned how to disguise himself as a woman. Ma Sheng asked again, "How many people have you defiled?" Wang Erxi replied, "Not long after he debuted, there were only 16 people." Ma Sheng felt that Wang Erxi should be killed for his crimes and wanted to sue the county government, but he loved his students. She was so beautiful that she couldn't bear his death, so she tied him up and castrated him. Wang Erxi's blood gushed out and he fainted, only to wake up after a meal. Ma Sheng helped him to the bed again, covered him with the quilt, and told him, "I will treat your injury with medicine. After the injury is healed, you must stay with me for the rest of your life. Otherwise, I will sue the government and let you die." Wang Erxi Weiwei kept saying. The next day, the old lady came to visit again. Ma Sheng lied to her and said, "She is my cousin, Sister Wang. She was kicked out of her husband's house because she was a stone girl. I didn't know until he explained the reason to me last night." That night she suddenly felt unwell, so I went to buy her medicine to treat her illness. And also went to her husband's house to ask her to stay with my wife. When the old lady heard that, she went into the house to visit Wang Erxi, and when she saw him, she looked as pale as ashes. Ask about the condition, the king replied. The vagina suddenly swelled. Maybe it was a sore. The old lady believed it and left. Ma Sheng then healed Wang Erxi's wounds, and he got better day by day. The two often fool around at night. When they get up in the morning, Wang Erxi carries water and cooks for Tian, sweeps the courtyard, and mends clothes, just like a slave. After staying for a short time, Sang Chong was defeated and killed, and 67 of his accomplices were executed by Linky. Only Wang Erxi slipped through the net, and the government ordered all places to arrest him strictly. Everyone in the village suspected Wang Erxi, so they summoned the old ladies in the village and asked them to explore Wang Erxi's private parts through their clothes. After they confirmed that it was a female, everyone dispelled their doubts. Wang Erxi was very grateful to Ma Sheng, and he followed him all his life. After his death, he was buried on the side of Ma's tomb, and the tomb still vaguely exists to this day.
Alright, this story has come to an end. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you.